Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome to another video. Have you checked eBay prices recently for the Atari 7800, Atari 7800 games specifically? Even loose copies are going for a fair amount of change, especially when you compare them what they were going for a short time ago. Now, when I got my Atari 7800 back in the day, and the games, which I'll show you here in a little bit, they were very cheap. I paid $1 a piece through the mail. Best Electronics. I think that website is still around selling retro video game parts. But back then, years ago, you could buy, maybe sometime in the 2000s, early to mid 2000s, maybe even a little later, you could buy Atari 7800 games for as little as 99 cents a piece. Brand new, sealed games, dirt cheap. Right now, the system is having a renaissance, and games for the system, seemingly every title has leapt significantly in price, jumped up to crazy prices. We're not at NES levels yet, but there's some surprising prices that I'm going to show you guys here in just a minute. But yeah, it's Atari 7800, and the reason being, it must be the Atari 2600 Plus. Not only are people wanting to play vintage, genuine Atari 7800 cartridges on their new Atari 2600 Plus systems, it's raising awareness for the Atari 7800. What a cool system. A definite upgrade over the 2600 and 5200 in a lot of ways. For the most part, the games are better arcade ports from the previous consoles. You've got really nice versions of Joust and Galaga and Asteroids and Centipede. Two-player, simultaneous Centipede and Asteroids, amazing. I've spoken about those games before. But let's check out these crazy prices that Atari 7800 games are currently getting, and then we'll take a quick look at my 7800 collection. Hey guys, let's low-tech look at some recently completed eBay auctions. Some of these completed today, like Galaga. Really well-worn copy of cart only for $25. Cracked for $15. Dig Dug for almost $19. Choplifter almost $18. Dig Dug, very common title. Moon Patrol, a common title for $18. Cart only. Let's get down to some of these even more surprising. Joust, you could get that on Best Electronics for $37. No, $1. Now it's $37 on eBay. Some of these probably have shipping. Xevious, a very common title for $15. Donkey Kong Jr., $60, cart only. My goodness. Crossbow, $15.50 for the cart. Even cart only. My goodness. Ball Blazer, cool futuristic game. Centipede with the manual. Again, a great port. I love the two-player simultaneous action, and it's a very good port. $40. Pole Position 2, the pack-in, card only, $10. That seems to be the cheapest one. That makes sense. That's sort of the combat of the 7800. Xevious, another common title, brand new factory sealed. You got to take that into consideration, of course. $38. Super Huey, a little more less common, $40. But let's go down to some of these others. Robotron 2084 for $25. Pretty common title. Check out a couple others here. I want to get down to Mario Brothers. Very popular title, highly sought after. Not rare or anything, but $55. People want to play these games. These games are selling for a lot of money because people want to actually play them. That's a darn cool reason for games to go up in value, that people are just excited about them and want to play them. They want the original hardware, the original software, at least in this case, to either plug them into their original 7800 or the new Atari 2600 Plus. So extremely cool, guys. This, people get upset that retro games go up in value, and I understand it makes collecting harder. But when people are genuinely excited about a system, look, there's a pair of controllers for $65, the much maligned 7800 controller. And Donkey Kong, one of the most famous video games of all time. A game that people still like to play in the arcades today and have competitions. A game that people still like to play at home. And man, people just want the original experience on a home console with the original cartridge. That's extremely cool. So yeah, big bump in Atari 7800 games. And yeah, this will be a negative for some, for people who just want to play them. and we want to sort of gatekeep and keep these games for ourselves when everything was still cheap. But, you know, times change, nostalgia wins, nostalgia rules. People want to buy these games, especially now that they have a great way to play them on their modern television set. HDMI that works. So very cool. If you have an Atari 2600 Plus, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go look at my 7800 collection. It's not huge, but it's pretty sweet. If you've seen my game room tour video, you know I keep my 7800 games, the box games, back in this corner, including a very nice console box and 2 wonderful homebrews and Junior Pac-Man and Baby Pac-Man. My boxed games, Scrapyard Dog, I bought at Half Price Books a few years ago for 15 or 20 bucks. But the rest of these I got for $1 a piece. Most of the rest of them from Best Electronics, early to mid 2000s. But, up until very recently, you could buy most 7800 games for just a few bucks each. But they've gone up a lot. Here's my cart-only games that I play the most. Food Fight, Galaga, Centipede, Asteroids, and then Choplifter. I like that game. And then under here in these tubs, I've got more 7800 games, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. Let's check out the boxed games before we get to the cartridges, the homebrews, and the boxed console itself. Scrapyard Dog is the closest thing the 7800 had to Super Mario Brothers. Jinx, interesting ball and paddle type game. Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., very highly sought after on the system right now. Love the box art on these, and they're solid ports too. Hat Trick, Hockey, Midnight Mutants, love the box art on this one. Grandpa Munster, One-on-One featuring Dr. J, my favorite athlete of all time, and Larry Bird. My brother's favorite athlete of all time was Bird. Miss Pac-Man, another great port. Very cool. Joust, Dig Dug, Xevious, Robotron. Talk about great ports. Now, Robotron doesn't have a controller holder like the 5200, but it's still a good port. And then last and maybe least, Ball Blazer's a good game, but Barnyard Blaster, kind of a meh. Light gun shooter. So let's check out the cartridges next. When it comes to loose carts for the system, these 4 I play the most. Asteroids, Centipede, Galaga, and Food Fight. Simply fantastic games. I don't play these carts as often, but I do like having them in my collection. Very cool. Pete Rose, man, there's a blast from the past. Got busted for gambling on baseball. Still not in the Hall of Fame. Choplifter. This is actually based on the Sega arcade game from '85, not the Apple II game. Great shooter. Pole Position 2, the pack-in cart with the system. This actually has a manufacture date on the back, September of '88. Pretty cool. September 5th, in fact. Getting really detailed there. Super Huey and Impossible Mission. I only have 2 homebrews for the 7800, but both are absolutely spectacular. Somehow, someway, Robert DeCrescenzo, if I'm saying that right, captured the ball physics and the gameplay of this amazingly well. I love Baby Pac-Man on the arcades, and this is a fantastic console version. I don't know how he did it. It's amazing considering that Baby Pac-Man is, half of it is a real pinball machine, and they captured it well in the video version here. Incredible. Great port of Junior Pac-Man. One of the more difficult Pac-Man games. I like the 2600 version a lot, but this one absolutely kills it. Very nice looking console box for the 7800. I do like this system quite a bit. Is Pole Position 2 really free, or is it built into the price of the system? Don't like these original joysticks. If you can, get a replacement because the joysticks are stiff, the side buttons cramp your hands. I do like the box art. Plays all 2600 games. Really highlights the fact that this is backwards compatible. I love when consoles are backwards compatible. I still have my Wii U hooked up instead of my Wii because it plays all the Wii games. Atari 7800 game library. I love old console boxes because they usually have the screenshots on there. Very cool, very classic. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of the Atari 7800, your memories with the console. What do you think of these new higher prices? Sealed 101 basketball seems pretty reasonable, $11.50. You could have got it cheaper. Pretty recently, though, $65, cart-only Miss Pac-Man. Let me know what you think, guys. I love the 7800. It's a good system. Still play it a fair amount. Thanks for liking. Thank you for subscribing. We will talk to you in another video.